trying to get them into a good standing in their relationship. And no matter how much I try, the fact that they don't like each other, every time he tries to lead with a friendly interaction, like, oh, brighten your day, she's like, absolutely not, stop trying. And it just keeps adding on the dislike, it's not keeping it in the same place, and not helping it go down. It was very difficult trying to get it to go down. And eventually they end up despising each other, because every time I try to do something nice, she doesn't want something nice done for her by someone that she doesn't like, in spite of this being her brother, and it adds to her disdain for him. It was terrible. It just wasn't working. So at this point in time, I think they despise each other. So I've been passively trying to help, right? Passively trying to help. Like on their own, they got it from like here to like up here. And I was like, great. So I invite Obi over and Jirara over, and I tell them you can click on relationship. It's a talking prompt. There we go. You can click on the sim that you're talking to, click on relationship, and it's not there for her sister because she's a teenager. Whatever. Let's do Rocky. Okay. Click on relationship, and usually you can go other sims, right? You go other sims, and when you go other sims, I need it to populate so you guys can see. It needs to all be on the same page. It's not there for anyone. What is happening? Okay. Anyways, usually you click on relationships and other sims, and you'll have 3 options come up. You can trash a sim, talk up a sim, or hook up with a sim. So ultimately, you can tell this sim, let's say Maure, I can tell Maure as Rocky, I can tell Maure and pick from a list of sims who I don't want you to like. That's what trash sim will do. The talk up a sim, I can pick a sim that I'm like, oh, this person is great, you should get to know them. Or the hookup module, it means I can click a sim that I think you'd be good with romantically. And ultimately you're telling them that, like, hey, you should go date this person. All of them can go different ways. If you trash a sim that this sim really likes, they'll kind of be like, they'll look at you funny. They'll respond something on the lines of, depends on their personality, but they'll respond something on the lines of, I'm talking to them and they don't seem like that. I think you have the wrong impression. What are you trying to do? And it'll negatively reflect your relationship with that person. Most of the time, talk up a sim works. It's successful. I haven't had any errors. The hookup one is usually one that doesn't work, because you kind of have to know both sims. Those sims also have to kind of know each other and be getting along, and they both have to be single. And I find that certain personality traits help, because if you notice that a sim isn't very talkative or charismatic, hooking them up with another sim will be difficult, because however they approach it, if their charisma is low, they don't be saying the right things. Because most of those, oh, I think you should date this person, majority of the time for me, they don't work. So I've been inviting the mom of the dynasty, Obi, over and telling them, oh, and talking up someone else. Telling the mom, oh, you should get to know Obi. Telling Obi, oh, you should get to know Okoye. Oh, telling Okoye, like, oh, you should get to know Jirara, like your daughter. Things like that. And so that it actually does build a relationship with them. They'll come back at some point to you. If the person's there at the same location you are, say I'm talking to Obi and I tell Obi, oh, go talk to Koye. He's so great. You should get to know him. Obi's going to say, oh, I had no idea you feel so strongly about this person. The conversation will immediately end. Obi's going to go over there and talk to Okoye. Then you'll get a prompt that pops up, and the prompt will say, oh, I got to know them. You're right. They're so great. And they will now be acquaintances or friends. And again, the unity is based on a relationship with each other. So I've been doing that nonstop. I go to the cemetery sometimes just to make sure every strength connection is connected to the urn. And Koye pops up there because his urn is there. And I'll talk to him and be like, hey, you should talk to Obi, or you should talk to Jorah. I'm just now being like, oh, you should talk to the sister. Because I'm like, maybe if the sister has a good relationship with the other members, even if Obi and his sister don't have a good relationship, if Obi has a good relationship with his mom and his grandfather, and his grandfather has a good relationship with his sister and his mom, hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. I didn't want to outcast her because I'm like, this is how the dynasty came. They are family. That would be so bad. But at the same time, we just can't have you throwing a monkey wrench in Unity, babe. Like, that just can't happen. So with my efforts, we've gotten it right here. And so, because before, when it was in the red, I was like, I don't know how long that's going to take to fix that. And so, I'm sorry, what the heck was that? Okay, that's me. I thought that was the Monty dynasty. And I was like, why the heck do they have an alliance with the Monty dynasty? But anyways, no, it's my dynasty that they have an alliance with. I'm actually the only ones they have an alliance with. which is too cool because to get married to members in a dynasty, if you're in a dynasty and your dynasties don't have an alliance, it can be difficult. So it's really cool that Maure and Obi are engaged to be engaged because our dynasties, the Cap dynasty and the Durang dynasty, are not in an alliance. So I think that's really cool. I think that's very cool. So our contingency plan, if it wasn't Obi, was Thiago because he's handsome and he's loyal, which is great. That's one of his personality traits. And so I went into their family and aged Cordelia down to young adult because if you've read her books, the unpublished writings of Cordelia, volume 1 through 4, which is exactly what they're called. Ugh, it doesn't come up here for some reason. Whatever. It's exactly what they're called. You'll find out that she is, I think this is like the coolest thing. I think this is the coolest thing that Sims has ever added. She's a thief, right? No. She is a thief. Yeah. Their breasts and the thieves look so similar. I forget. Okay. It's not the family bloodline. I need a family line. You know what? I can still look at it like this because, wait. I can go from Rocky's family. I can go from Rocky's family because she's married to Ty, and Ty's connected to the thieves. So I can do it like that. Cordelia, and then bam. See? You look up Cordelia Capp, you'll see who she descended from, and she descended from the Thebes. And I've talked about this before, but Cordelia Thebe, this is our Cordelia Thebe right here. This Cordelia Thebe is this Cordelia Thebe, which is this Cordelia Thebe, which is this Cordelia Thebe. She is, because she's never had a child and she's never had an heir. She's never gotten married. She's never had a child, never had an heir. It's just her. She married Thiago, and it's so cool because when you're in Ondarion, you can do Ondarion ordeals, but usually it'll come up when you talk about where do they live? They don't live in Damble. They live in Vintmar. I think that's what it's called. Vintmar. When you talk about Vintmar, one of the things that'll come up is Cordelia and Cordelia's love life, and the fact that Cordelia married Thiago, but there seems to be some tension there, and the people don't think that they're in love with each other. They think Cordelia's doing it for his title. When you read her unpublished books, that's exactly why she married Thiago. She married Thiago so that way she could become Cordelia. She can become Queen Cordelia Thiago. I mean, Queen Cordelia. What's her last name? Queen Abrantes, I thought so. Queen Cordelia Abrantes, because she didn't want to be Cordelia Thebe, because from Cordelia's words, people are starting to notice that she hasn't aged, that she looks the same, that everyone's aged, everything is aged around her, but she hasn't. And she hasn't aged because she's been taking some potion that she's made with the magicians of the world. Okay, so cool that she's made this potion with the wizards. And she's been drinking this potion since around here to stay the same, and it's turned her eyes purple. That's why Cordelia has purple eyes. It's a side effect of the potion she's been taking to not age. So I aged Cordelia down to young adult just because, respectfully, I think that's a really cool storyline. I think that's like, me and Cordelia aren't even friends. I just think that's really neat. I aged Thiago back down to an adult because when you come in, Thiago's an adult, so he becomes an elder just like that. And then Fia also aged down back to young adult because if Fia dies, I'd be so sad. Because who's gonna replace her? Nobody. I love her. So aged her back down to young adult. Actually, I moved her into the Thebe household because I don't know about you guys, but Abrantes and Cordelia, they got a divorce in my game, which I guess tracks, but not before they had like 3 kids, so they both have an heir. And Shane's in the Abrantes because I thought that would help the unity of that, but his heir is his daughter, which is the last child. The middle child is Travis. That's Cordelia's heir, but Travis sucks. No offense to Travis, but I don't think he's gonna make for a good heir. And so I thought I could give her a better heir, but I don't know how I'm gonna go about that, to be ever so honest. You know, I feel like friend to friend, she could be like, hey, I noticed you make fantastic children. Can I have one? Like, in my mind, that's what I'm picturing the conversation would be. But Thiago was the backup because I wanted Maure to marry a real royal, like someone that came in the game as royalty, not someone that I made a royal or gave a dynasty. So that made my options very slim if it wasn't Obi. So we went with Thiago. And Thiago works because Thiago is very romantic and he's charming. And he's asked her out on a date 4 times, but I think it's so great because Obi's never once asked her out on a date. Never, not one time. Asked on a date like 4 times. They seem to get along really well. They're very charismatic. Theo is very handsome. They probably make some really cute kids, you know, but Obi's unity thing is growing. So I'm like, I can just be patient and wait. But at the same time, Thiago, like we're already going up that train. So in that case, I'm still unclear. I'm still unclear. We've adopted a horse because, as I said before, I don't feel like you can be a royal and be a part of a dynasty or have nobility and not know how to ride a horse. That's crazy. So we've adopted a horse. He's black and white, like a Tennessee walking horse. So I named him Walker. He's great. He has really great traits.
Zambard.
I looked them up just to know what they meant because I hate when they show up and you think it means one thing and then you look at it and that's not what that means. So he's still a foal, so he's just a baby, but he's a colt, so he's a boy. He's intelligent, which is great because that means that he's a rapid learner. That's good because he's going to be a championship horse whether he likes it or not. And he's also independent, which means that they're content on their own. They don't need that much attention, which I thought would be good as well because everyone in the family is usually focused on one thing or another. And the last thing I wanted was for an animal to feel neglected. And he's also energetic, which means he will gain athletic skills faster, but slower on the temperament scale, which is true. He does gain temperament a bit slow, but I figured with the intelligent and him gaining all skills faster, it would balance out for the temperament. Like, it wouldn't be slow, it would just kind of be neutral. I figured it balanced itself out. And that's Walker, and he's great. So now we're here to give a big push on the skills and the aspirations so the teenagers can become young adults.
The rule.
And Tab can become a teeny bopper. So that's what we're here to do. For some gosh darn reason, it doesn't have it where he can invite these friends over. But that's when I can sit at the house. It's not a vacation thing. So I don't know why that is.
Woohoo!
Okay. I think that's a catch-up on everything. I have been wondering, like, since Rocky walked away from the nobility because I was like bored of that. I mean, honestly. So, and I gave the title to my daughter, but it was earlier than it was supposed to be, so we gave it to Ty. But then Tybalt passed on, and Maure could have taken it, and she did. But I felt like Rocky, felt like Maure just wasn't ready. She will be the monarch of Ondarion, but I don't feel like she's ready right now. And based on how she was handling the crown, I feel like I'm right. So I told her to step down and step aside, which she wasn't happy about. But she's my daughter and she trusts me, so she did. So I don't know who the kingdom leader is right now. I don't think there is one. I don't know. But I wanted Maure to be able to focus on other things before she had to go into the royalty career. Because once you go into the nobility career, you're just in it. You can't do anything else until you leave. So I was like, let's just save that for later. So I don't know who the kingdom leader is right now. I don't think there is one, honestly. But no one in the house is of nobility. Everyone just find it odd that Rocky walked away unexpectedly. But I mean, what's it going to do? And also, I wanted to upgrade my samurai, but you can only do that when you're like a level 10 in this advanced career. So I had to become a scientist to upgrade my samurai. I tried to like figure out a way around it. I couldn't. There is no way around it. So that's just what it is. And Maure right now, she's an actress. She's completing an aspirational. You know why you lost, Nikki? Because you're not a gosh darn level 10 in sword fighting. That's why. You're only a level 6. Your sister's a level 10. I don't even know why you're dueling her. I don't even know why she's asking to duel you. Just mess on her for no reason. Okay, so what is Val gonna work on? Let's just level up the anthology, because that goes up to level 5 and we're at like a level 4.